the day after director James Gunn was dropped from Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy franchise over offensive old tweets. Thor: Ragnarok director Taika Waititi has emerged as the fan favorite to replace Gunn on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. On Thursday, right-wing Twitter personality Mike Cernovich started posting a series of Gunn's old tweets, which Gunn soon deleted. Online sleuths subsequently dug up dozens of other old tweets, many from between 2008 and 2011. Gunn, the co-writer and director of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy and the writer-director of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 inches, apologized late Thursday, but the next morning he was fired outright by Disney. Gunn had previously apologized for the tweets in 2012, shortly after he was hired by Disney. And on Friday, he apologized again and said he understood Disney's decision to fire him. Also read, Disney drops James Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy franchise after offensive tweets. Gunn's removal from one of Marvel's big franchises left many fans angry, including friends like Guardians co-star Dave Bautista. But others began thinking ahead to who might replace him, and the name a great number landed on was Waititi's. If Disney doesn't tip Taika Waititi to direct Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, then they're doing this whole thing wrong, tweeted a fan. After the James Gunn fallout, I nominate Taika Waititi for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It would be the best Guardians movie yet, tweeted another fan. Also read, Dave Bautista, others defend James Gunn, I am not okay with what's happening. Another fan added, give Guardians of the Galaxy to Taika Waititi so I can get the Korg. Didn't know I wanted until just now. Waititi hasn't made any public statement about Gunn or calls for him to take over the Guardians franchise. Disney did not respond to a request for comment from their app. But that didn't stop fans from continuing into Saturday night to urge the Mouse House to consider the Ragnarok director. Read some of the other calls for Waititi to replace Gunn below. After the James Gunn fallout, I nominate Taika Waititi for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It would be the best Guardians movie yet. Anthony Bonetti, at Bonetti007, July 21, 2018. If Disney doesn't tip Taika Waititi to direct Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, then they're doing this whole thing wrong. Alyssa Pech, at Alyssa Peach, July 21, 2018. I see people saying that Taika Waititi should replace James Gunn as director of GOTG Volume 3, and I completely agree, but let's take it even further and hire back Nicole Perlman, a woman who put years of research and writing into GOTG Volume 1 and got almost no credit for it. Pic.twitter.com/SidSimgang. Emma, at SpideyDom, July 20, 2018. If James Gunn is fired, can Taika Waititi be the next director of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Patricia Gomez, at Jinsmes, July 22, 2018. So, Taika Waititi should direct GOTG Volume 3. You can't convince me otherwise. Liz, at Bisexual Xpucky, July 22, 2018. Taika Waititi better be the one picking up Guardians 3. Taylor Eggers, at Spotty Floppy, July 22, 2018. So we've moved from, this James Gunn sacking is outrageous, to, hire Taika Waititi or Nicole Perlman to direct Part 3. Man, Twitter moves fast. Just another film nerd, at another film nerd, July 22, 2018. I didn't think about Taika Waititi saving GOTG, but OMG, he can do so much better for the franchise. Daddy Defoe, at Darren McLaughlin, July 22, 2018. I know it's not gonna happen, but I want Taika Waititi to direct Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, so BAD. Fingers crossed. Marvel. Trash. SAEMATW. At Marvel__trash, July 22, 2018. At KevFeej, would you consider Taika Waititi to direct GOTG Volume 3? At KevFeej, at KevFeej, Julia 31, at Pulio_Julia, July 22, 2018. Marvel 19. The Incredible Hulk 2008, released just 5 years after Ang Lee's Hulk. This second attempt to make a leading man out of the big green gamma-radiated creature proved to be similarly disappointing. If we've learned anything from the Avengers movies, it's that Bruce Banner works best when he's a supporting character, and when he's played by Mark Ruffalo. Marvel 18, Ant-Man, 2015. While this movie deserves credit for not putting the fate of mankind on the line, the stakes are more child's toy train-sized, the film's stabs at humor seem overplayed, and little of Paul Rudd's natural charm comes to the forefront of what should be a breezy caper. We can only wonder what Edgar Wright's original version might have been like. Disney, Marvel 17, Thor, 2011. Director Kenneth Branagh nails the thee and thou of the Asgard segments, but the small town where the climax plays out is one of the screen's cheesiest fake cities since the terrible 1980s Supergirl movie. On the upside, actor Chris Hemsworth demonstrates a twinkly wit in this Thunder God adventure, matched with impressive brawn. Marvel 16, Iron Man 2, 2010. The best MCU movies do a good job of distracting you from all the setting up of future franchise entries. This one offers so much empire building that it might as well have a part-an-hour dust sign on it. Still, the first appearance of Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow, dispatching a hallway's worth of opponents, made an unforgettable impression. Disney, Marvel 15. Captain America, The First Avenger, 2011. Much as he did in The Rocketeer, director Joe Johnston excels at portraying the gloss of the 1940s, although the characters aren't nearly as vivid as the USO Bunting. But fear not, true believers, Cap's on-screen adventures got way better in his subsequent solo and team movies. Marvel 14. Thor: The Dark World, 2013. Firmly average, yes, but an improvement on its predecessor and a straight-up good time, skillfully balancing superheroics, second bananas, entertaining villains and the occasional killer one-liner. By no means a cornerstone of the MCU, but this one, mostly, works. Disney, Marvel 13, Iron Man 3, 2013. Director and co-writer Shane Black doesn't always have the tightest grasp on the story. What does the nefarious extremist do again, and why? But he shows off his skill at witty banter, which Robert Downey Jr. can perform within an inch of its life, and breathtaking action, a mid-air rescue of a dozen passengers who have just tumbled out of Air Force One. Disney, Marvel 12, The Avengers, Age of Ultron, 2015. It's always fun when the band gets back together, but it's also difficult to recapture the magic of that first time. This sequel offers plenty of excitement and Joss Whedon's scripted badinage, but it's also a little overstuffed with supporting characters and setups for the next round of MCU movies. Lovers and haters of superhero movies can both find bolsters for their arguments here. Disney, Marvel 11. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 inches, 2017. The band is back together, and they're as bristly hilarious as in their first outing, but overall this sequel feels like it's just vamping, entertainingly, until the next major plot shift in the MCU. Kurt Russell pops up as Ego the Living Planet, who claims to be the long-lost father of Peter Quill, Star-Lord, Chris Pratt, and while the movie is more concerned with character and emotion than plot, not all of the moving moments ring true. Disney, Marvel 10. Avengers: Infinity War, 2018. It's a little tough to judge this one on its own merits since it's so clearly half a movie. We won't really know how this film comes to fruition until we get the sequel. But in the meantime, it does a fairly impressive job of juggling some 25 major MCU characters and keeping its sense of humor even in the face of mass destruction, and intense scenes involving torture and genocide. Disney, Marvel 9. Thor: Ragnarok, 2017. Director Taika Waititi, Hunt for the Wilderpeople, strikes a delicate balance between breathless action and fate of the universe stakes on one hand and tongue-in-cheek silliness and snappy banter on the other. Luckily, he's got Chris Hemsworth, who excels at both, surrounded by the witty likes of Tom Hiddleston, Mark Ruffalo and franchise newbies Tessa Thompson, Jeff Goldblum and a gloriously over-the-top Cate Blanchett. Disney, Marvel 8. Captain America: Civil War, 2016. The plotting and pacing aren't as tight as in Winter Soldier, but if you're looking for dark human conflict and rousing superhero-on-superhero action, this movie does a whole lot right that Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice did wrong. Disney, Marvel 7. Iron Man 2008. It all starts here, a superhero origin story for literalists who can't get behind exploding planets or radioactive spiders. Jon Favreau, then most famous for directing Elf, and writing and co-starring in Swingers, seemed an odd choice for the material, but he knows how to give us both the characters, played by Downey and Gwyneth Paltrow with panache, and the kablam. Marvel 6. Black Panther, 2018. While Chadwick Boseman's titular African king superhero takes something of a backseat to a troika of fascinating female characters, played by Lupita Nyong'o, Denai Guerrera and Letitia Wright, the movie nonetheless overflows with excitement and rich backstory. Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger ranks among the franchise's greatest villains. Disney, Marvel 5. Spider-Man: Homecoming, 2017, less guilt-driven and haunted than previous iterations of the character, on the page or screen. Tom Holland's Spider-Man has enough on his plate dealing with his superhero growing pains. Hungry to join the Avengers but still grappling with all he has to learn. He's only 15, after all. Our hero faces off against blue-collar bad guy the Vulture, Michael Keaton, Birdman at last, in an adventure that's breezy and funny while also featuring genuine stakes, terrific characterizations and wonderfully detailed casting. You gotta love a teen movie that works in Zendaya, Tony Revolori, Abraham Mehta and JJ Toda, plus scene-stealing newcomer Jacob Batalon. Sony, Marvel 4. Doctor Strange, 2016. It would be all too easy to make the spellcasting master of the mystic arts look ridiculous on the big screen, but somehow director Scott Derrickson and his crew gave us a version of surgeon-turned-magician drive. Stephen Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, who seems at home in the real world, rubbing shoulders with the Avengers, and traversing trippy, eye-popping dimensions where none other could go. 3. Guardians of the Galaxy, 2014. Breezy, flippant and soaking in the super hits of the 70s, this comedy adventure is something of an outlier, both tonally and geographically, in the Marvel Universe. Still, whether or not Rocket Raccoon and Black Widow ever crossed paths, this star-spanning saga was a reminder that there's more than one way to tell a superhero story. Disney, Marvel 2. Captain America: The Winter Soldier, 2014. Aggressive patriotism meets anti-government paranoia in this exciting tale that pits the Captain against labyrinth and conspiracies. It also turns out that Steve Rogers is way more interesting displaced in time in the 2000s than firmly at home in the 1940s. And you will believe the Falcon can fly. Disney, Marvel 1. The Avengers, 2012, still the gold standard of the MCU, this movie reveals that Joss Whedon gets comic books down to their DNA, in the same way that Steven Spielberg and George Lucas were fluent in the language of serials in the Indiana Jones movies. Putting all these heroes in one room, or helicarrier, anyway, yielded terrific results, even if the film's success led to the all-superheroes all-the-time ethos of contemporary Hollywood. Disney, Marvel.